Grand Rising Tribe. Okay, so if you don't know already, I'm Mr. Hall, author, founder, spiritual healer, teacher, mentor, guide, conscious systems architect, ethical taboo and kink content creator, and educator. Either way, many titles, many labels. Point is, I'm here to give you confirmation of what you may have been seeking answers for, give context in the forms of perception and perspective to hopefully allow you to glean some insight into this entire experience we call human existence, right? So, when I begin the video, I begin to channel. And some of the first things that I began channeling essentially were silencing the noise, one, okay? So, something happening in a sequential order, okay? Two, saying yes to a membership, okay? So that may be significant. This can take form in any practical sense as far as joining a membership, for example, at a grocery store in your area or region of the world. Saying yes to a membership of higher consciousness. Saying yes to a membership of, okay, spiritual burp there. If you've been following along, you understand the reference of spiritual burps. If you don't, go ahead and do some research and or click the link above in the bio. I am available for sessions and readings. So essentially getting rid of the noise when it comes to any practical steps that you're taking in a business, okay? Corporations, companies, all right? And I'm also picking up a changing of the seasons, literal sense of the change of the seasons here in America. We would say that right now is getting closer to winter. There may be chills in the air, the temperature's going down. So I'm picking up a cool down and clearing out the noise, okay? I'm clearing out the energy body, the system, okay? Finding yourself in this rest state, okay? So you still may be active, but you're in this rest state. I'm picking up clearing of the nervous system, okay? Getting into this space of equilibrium and away from the noise of distractions, the noise of negative thought patterns, limiting beliefs, okay? Holding on to specific contexts of negativity. Okay, so I'm picking up releasing negativity, all right? The energy, okay. So the way that you're receiving the energy externally of you is changing due to your perception evolving, okay? Due to your perspective becoming more encompassing and more inclusive. All right, similar to this channel, we practice omnism and animism here. So all facets of religion, beliefs, and understandings are included and welcome, even down to inanimate objects, okay? As everything is energy, frequency, and vibration, even beyond the particle level, okay? And atomic levels, okay? Only guideline is that we let the energy flow. So now, all of this information, if I have already lost you, this may not be a reading for you, and this can be your subconscious reaching out to have you gain new information, okay? And if you're not understanding, do some research, click the link above in the bio, book a session with me. I'm very selective on the sessions that I will book with, though. And aside from that, if it doesn't resonate, or it doesn't make sense to you, or you're not following the logic, or you're not following the sense, then get it over to someone who may need it, okay? And share this information, okay? This channeled message, all right? And aside from that, if tribe, moving forward, if you are part of the tribe, you understand? Okay, so we'll get to, okay. So clearing readings, I'm also picking up, okay? Something happening instantaneously, okay? The color black may be representative. So something happening instantaneously around power. And then I'm circling back because we did pick up on a global macro scale as far as this planet is concerned, or field or plane of existence and understanding. We're seeing Okay. So something going black, I'm picking out blackout, okay? Something projected around that energy, possibly propaganda, okay, in relation to the government. So let's say nuclear weapons being tested again, or the perceived and perception of that happening. Okay, so something about black and yellow, right? Today is specifically October 31st. In some American cultures and circles, we would celebrate Halloween, okay? Has different meanings in many different cultures, okay? But I'm picking up the Day of the Dead for some reason. That may also be significant, not literally that, okay? So a connection between the Day of the Dead and Halloween. Those days particularly are not on the same day, but many layers in connection to this. So really connecting the dots consciously between the interconnected experience that one individual is having to other individuals, to all individuals being of the same species, and more. There's more to that, many layers. If you know, you know. Okay, but something about saying yes to the season of black and yellow is going to be of a benefit for you, possibly one of the best memberships that you can have as far as business. All right, and I'm looking at this in a literal context. So, okay, something, let's, for example, let's use the credit card company American Express. You can be joining a major credit card company or corporation or something that is similar to that. Here in America, depending on where you are, picture the largest organization that is of financial stature, okay, possibly reaching out to you. You may have some form of invitation coming in, all right, as the seasons change, okay, and things have cooled down from the chaos or perceived chaos of all of these changes happening at once, okay, globally, interdimensionally, spiritually, energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, and things that have been happening for years are now becoming remembered, and the illusions have been broken and carried away, giving space to new change, a new season, a new way of being, collectively, okay. All right. And I'm also picking up you taking time to gain the gain. So what's coming to mind is gaining the fabric, but to be able to understand in new depth, okay, yourself and others in new depths, okay, confirmation. I'm not sure if y'all heard that, but either way. So you being able to understand something in new depths, okay? A light bulb moment or something going off for you is going to be confirmation, all right? All right. You're going to be picking up as well on multiple frequencies happening around you. Your energy body is becoming more sensitive. You're becoming more aware of being able to be the observer and not absorb. Okay. So, absorbing what you consciously decide to allow your attention to flow. Okay. You consciously absorbing what you would like based on where you allow your energy and consciousness to flow. Okay. I'm also picking up a revising of something. All right. So revising some type of data, some type of information. All right. How we process data as a species. All right. And data can come in the forms of communication verbally. Okay. You can hear it through your five, your five senses. Okay. So something about you already know. You already know the answer to something. You already have your answer. You already have your yes answer. You already are a part of the club. Okay, essentially. And so this may be outside of any practical context of how we have been led to believe and understand reality and consciousness and ourselves as a species and more. So you may be a part of a soul tribe, a soul family, getting in touch with energies that align with your way of existing and being in a healthy, symbiotic pattern and relationship. Okay, so entering a new relationship, all right, maybe being proposed to as well, I'm picking up. Okay, so something that was alarming to you is in the very far distance, behind you possibly, all right, if we're looking at time linearly, okay, but something far behind you. All right, I am also seeing the imagery of a clock. Okay, so something about time speeding up, slowing down, the referencing of understanding time is changing collectively. And this may be generational, so generational curse breaking as well. Okay, So very outside of the box. Something outside of the box. It seems, okay. The way that I'm picking this up is that you've been outside of the box, and you being outside of the box has given space for you to somehow end up in a new box. So I'm picking up an unboxing of yourself, an unboxing, okay? Layers of onions, okay, representing you and your consciousness, possibly. Okay. Things were tied up in a knot. Okay, so there may have been some type of binding magic or something that you were heavily attached to that had a negative impact and effect on your existence while being human. Okay. Okay, so I'm picking up that you're following the binding back to where it originated to get rid of something at the root. Okay, getting to the root cause of something. All right, I'll digress and break this down a little bit more clear. I've been told recently that I go a little fast, or okay, so something about you speeding up, right, in reference to time. So I digress. Doing some cleansing, okay, a slowing down to the chaos, an energetic clearing of the mental body, energy body, all right? You having the option to join in a contract, already being in a contract, okay, and possibly being made more aware of a contract that you are in, something giving birth, something proposing, okay, there may be a proposal coming to you, you being able to break generational curses, okay, and you following the root cause of an issue, okay, finding out where the root cause of issues were laid, okay, within the foundation of something. So the foundation can be referencing a television show on Apple TV. You can check that out. Something significant about Apple, Eve, okay, eating the apple also. Something about organic and intuitive, ergonomic, something ergonomic, okay, about the connection between data and nature, all right? And we did say as well the unveiling of what has already been here. So nothing being new, more so being remembered, okay? Having always been present, and our perception collectively, globally, internationally, on a macro, micro scale, okay? Through levels of perception, these levels of perception have been opened back up to us, okay? Energies that we're attempting to keep separate, okay? Energies that were attempting to keep us separate from consciousness, from interconnectedness, from the true ley lines and foundations of reality have been cleared away. And so, okay. Also picking up hurricane storms. There were recently hurricanes and storms in specific parts of the country and world. Okay. Peace going out to those energies. And if we look at things from a spiritual perspective, okay, within a spiritual context, and so something about so something is calling to you, okay? So you may resonate with cat energy, you may resonate with divine feminine energy, you may resonate with Egyptian energy of Basat, okay? All right. So coming together, as my hands place, so coming together, something bringing peace to you. Okay, that's a big overall feeling. All right, and being able to really transmute and recognize energy drainage. Okay, things draining your energy, your life force, your chi, your aura, your ka, your ra energy. Okay. It almost, the energy feels as though it's in a lullaby, a lull, but the lull does not feel stuck, okay? I'm picking up business needs. So something about business needs heavily coming through. So something, if you have a question about business, the answer is yes, and it looks like it will be successful, depending on where you are in the timeline of consciousness and frequency of spirituality and your awakening and understandings of these things. Okay. You also possibly getting into a moment of meditation. Okay. You having seconds. If we're looking at time linearly, we're seeing a lull, a pause, a moment of peace. Okay, and this being exaggerated upon in the sense of, in the context of enjoy being able to enjoy eating your cake, having it too, being able to enjoy the peace in the chaos. Okay, really entering the state of Zen Taoism. I'm picking up as well. Okay, Luciferianism, possibly pronouncing that wrong in this moment, but Luciferianism, fairyism. Okay, well, and that may be significant as well because Lucy, so the name Lucy, the movie Lucy, okay, Awakening. Okay, so, okay, I'm referencing film, that film or films, okay. So films, as in movies, that you may want to watch, okay, are including Lucy, okay, The Matrix. Okay, so something about spiritual awakenings, breaking individuals collectively, individually, out of the matrix, out of the perceived system that is built to control perception and understanding of consciousness and reality. Okay, that's one way that message is coming through. Second, okay, another layer to that message is something about you being filmed, you being recorded. Okay, I'm picking up secret recordings, secret filmings, secret studying. Okay, I'm picking up projects, government psyops. I'm picking up shadow governments. Okay, I'm picking up corrupted and nefarious groups within groups. Okay, groups within groups. So really something about this double layer of unboxing. Okay, so a present having another present inside and another present inside and then another present inside. This continuation of this pattern, this Fibonacci sequence. So something happening sequentially. Okay, all right. The imagery that I'm seeing is of digging the hand into sand, and each grain of sand being a different color. And somehow all of these colors are interconnecting to each other. Okay? It's the best way for me to put it into language for you right now. We'll get to the cards and see if those assist as well. 12 also may be significant. You may be seeing that number. The number is 17. Okay. Maybe, okay. So something about a new beginning spiritually, spiritual renewal. Okay, let's see. Give me a sec. All right. All right. Something about, okay, your membership to. All right, so you may be expecting $200,000 or 200,000 something of points, okay, or rewards. This can be in any form of currency depending on where you are in the world. So an infinite completion, okay, taking place, the number 9. All right. All right, we're gonna go with the, okay, possibly not. All right, we'll go with Archangel Michael. Okay, Oracle deck. All right, so being able to disregard signs and symbols in context, because we are now understanding collectively that certain signs and symbols maybe are engineered or manipulated to guide away from what is truly for you. So really being able to break down and through these illusions, okay? Let's see. All right, and you being able to witness and see the parallels of direction, okay? Being omnipresent and multi-directional, okay? Being able to explore your options, all right? Being able to explore your options. On this card, there's a prayer, and it says, "Dear God, thank you for your wisdom and love, helping me see, understand, and assess all of my alternative options. Please guide me in the best direction for my health, happiness, and life's purpose." Okay, and with this card, I'm being reminded to let you know that depending on whatever or whichever or however, in whatever ways you would connect to something higher than yourself, it's truly a connection and an extension of yourself, as God would be a frequency reached internally if we use the word God to define an energy, okay? Because I'm picking up on primordial energies that have no name. There is no context, just an experience of being, okay? All right, but being guided to explore your options. And if we look on the card, there's a white horse, okay? Some special symbolism within this white horse, and then also angel wings. So we can look at this horse and the individual on the horse, okay? Gender irrelevant, okay, or separate of this, but the energy is masculine. So something moving forward with purity. And we can look at this as the horse having wings, okay? Is this a Pegasus? And or are we looking at the masculine energy on the horse as a Pegasus? Or are we able to combine all three and see them collectively as taking flight into action for purity, okay? Okay, I'm heavily picking up on this mirrored energy, okay? With this card pointing here, okay? The hands pointing in the direction of what you need to do. So if you're seeing this immediately and it's guiding me to let you know to look over to your left, okay? So look over to your left. Something to your left is going to be very significant for you. And you're being guided to honor and trust your feelings, okay? With the Merkaba being here as well and the light source within that Merkaba, okay? And also I'm picking up breaking outside of the geometry and being limitless, okay? Something about the film or movie Limitless. I believe that is a film or movie because again, okay. So how I'm picking up this film or movie reference that I'm being guided to mention is there are literal films and movies that you can go and watch that are going to assist you in your spiritual awakening. Outside of this, you are experiencing your life as a film and or movie, okay? In the grand stage of society, civilization, in the grand stage of the human experience called reality, okay? Right, so a change in balance for complete alignment. A change in balance for complete alignment, okay? Number 56629 may be significant. 56629 as well. All right. All right, so no proving, no explaining in being. All right, that's also what I've just gotten. All right. And your actions making waves through energy, okay? So the imagery that I see is a wave and the vibration of a wave. So a wave of the ocean, okay? The ocean wave crashing onto the sand, all right? And giving space to vibration energy, okay? Vibrational energy. So you mist, okay? So something about mist. You may have previously felt that you missed something or that you are missing something, but you are not. There's no missing, all right? You are in divine alignment, okay? You are picking up on the correct signals and you're being guided in the correct direction, okay? And you have multiple directions to choose if you so choose, okay? Right. So I'm picking up swearing in an oath, something about being a part of a membership or club. All right. And this may not be in a literal sense. You may not have gotten an invitation. So let's give an example in reference. Specific gangs, cults, mafias, cartels that can be within governments, corporations, external to them as well. They may elicit your agreement subconsciously. They may elicit your agreement through nonverbal communications. They may elicit your agreement and confirmation of your agreements through film, media. Okay, they may elicit your agreement in the dream state. Okay, I'm all picking up astral travel, astral dreaming. Okay, sex within a dream, eating food within a dream. In spiritual circles, specific spiritual circles, all of these things have meanings, and I'll digress. Applying meaning wherein meaning is beneficial for you in whatever state of consciousness you are in. Okay. So I'm also picking up altered states of consciousness. So altered states of consciousness blending in line with, let's say, the baseline understanding of consciousness and understanding. So these things are merging. I'm picking up empirical science, becoming theoretical science, from pseudoscience to understanding that science is the exploration of, okay, reality, the limits and pushing the boundaries of reality, consciousness, okay, layers. All right. And as we do this collectively, we're getting to a space where everything connects and it's easier, okay, to witness and see this. And I'll use as an example the internet. All right. It is not a real thing. However, it is very within existence. Okay, I'll say it this way, right? But depending on where you are with your understanding of technology, okay, the technology we use day to day from corporations, the technology of the body, the technology of the sun, the technology of language, right? How and where you apply technology and its understanding from the contexts, perspectives, and perception that you're able to hold, all right, is increasing. So when I say you, we, us, I am, because you are, because we are, right? As a species, as an existence, as a consciousness, right? So many layers to that, but some type of agreement that you agree to. So you're part of the club. Welcome to the club. Okay, you may be a part of the tribe. That may be significant. You may literally be hearing someone say, "Welcome to the club," right? It all interconnects. And what I want you to do as an exercise is, after watching this film or video, look out for these key words. Okay, victory, success. Okay, firm foundation, and a crown chakra. Okay, so something was attempting to block your awareness to the interconnectedness of everything. Okay, to the interconnectedness base. Let's go with quantum physics. Okay, let's go with let's go with limited linear logic and rationale that has been successful throughout the most recent civilizations and societies, let's say the past 100 years, okay, if we're measuring time linearly. Now, that shift is happening, and because this shift is happening, we are collectively awakening to the crazy within ourselves, okay? Those parts of yourself that may have been deemed or labeled insufficient, crazy, less than, not worthy, possibly not valuable, having no point, okay? Similarly to specific organs within the body, let's say you can get rid of your tonsils. However, we are now understanding the tonsils do play a major role in the being and functioning of the body, right? We just did not have the perception, the tools, the awareness, the space, the capacity to understand that the tonsils were significant, and or if you don't have them, equally not significant, as we are literally creating reality, right? But I digress. There was something keeping awareness reversed, okay? Keeping awareness of these foundational layers of truth, as there are many truths, but the foundational layers of truth were being hidden from the masses, from the general public, from ourselves even, right? Through indoctrination, through generational curses, okay? Right? Through silos, through different boxes used to contextualize and compartmentalize us as a species, as a human, okay? And more. But we're stepping out of that. My point is, what I picked up is that awareness, okay, was being reversed, all right? And now, as we see the one, okay, being at the, so if we look at this as well, we'll see the power symbol, okay, from this, to say computer, technology, okay, you see that? The I/O, okay? Internal operating system was being reversed, okay, of the human species. The internal operating system of your programming, your understanding, was being reversed purposefully by specific groups, okay? Okay. And now that that has been corrected, right? And this may have been around what really was foundational and, okay. So there was, man. All right. Many layers to what I'm picking up, tribe. Okay. So if you channel, if you've practiced your mediumship, if you stepped into gifts and understanding, you recognize. If not, again, if this isn't resonating, go do your own research. Go ahead and check out some of the things that I've said in this statement on YouTube, where I'll be posting this. And if not on YouTube, there should be captions or something that you can see to go ahead and capture some of the words and go ahead and plug them in to see and find the references and context of all the things that I'm saying here. So anyway, now here. Awareness was being reversed, keeping the power within you off, okay? And leading to this foundations being reversed with the number 4 representing in specific numerical and numerology. In specific numerology and numerical instances, the number 4 would represent a foundation, stability, the structure, right? And these foundations and achievements were reversed, okay? Reaching for goals that were false illusions, okay? The American dream, for example, within America, as we see society and individuals working beyond 40 hours and still unable to afford food. Okay. There are many layers to that in sending positive energy. But point being that, and it's very similar to things happening globally. Okay, so no. Okay, I'm going to have to address this message first. Okay. So awareness to your power being reversed, thus leading to you chasing dreams or achievements that were practical, possibly on the physical. And there are layers to this in the context that I'm saying this in. You chasing the ideal that was created for you instead of chasing your own ideals, creating your own dream life, creating your own success, creating what you value, right? That was all in the past, because now we have prosperity begins, right? And upright, the number one again. So you've recognized your power to attract abundance. As we see this tree, what I'm picking up from this card is this tree is attracting in these beautiful, succulent, nutritious, vivacious, these beautiful, blissful energies. And with the color orange and yellow being here, relating to the solar plexus as well as the sacral chakras, your creativity is pulling in to your foundation, okay? And the hands that I referenced earlier, this being fermented, right? So spirit has your back is what I'm picking up. So whatever club, okay, so this may be a literal club or group that you're a part of, and or literally spirit letting you know that it has your back, okay? As you grow and plant this seed, nothing is stopping it, right? You're growing through these hands, okay? So let's say, okay, how I'm picking this up is the contractual agreement your soul made upon reincarnating into this human experience, all right? Placed a pact that was attempting to block your seed, okay? You're not going to grow. You're not going to grow. You can't move forward. No, right? And it seems that you have grown past this anyway, and you have grown so much that prosperity is about to begin, right? You've as above, so below energy I'm picking up here, where you've gone through the roots, the darkness, traveled the tunnels with your eyes closed, right? Being able to see with your third eye, right? And now that you've done this, you've risen beyond, okay? Into the sky, into the universe, into the limitlessness, okay? Into the unlimited, okay? Into the vastness, okay? To now connect with the fruits of your labors, okay? Prosperity begins, okay? And this is happening from the foundation, as the root chakra is here, the color red, representing the root. So something is cemented. You are a part of the club. Welcome. All right, so that's where your energy is now. All right, and you're no longer having to stand your ground, okay? So getting out of this survival mode, getting out of this perpetual fight or flight mode, all right? Releasing that, all right? You're able to rejoice. Look at that. You're able to rejoice, okay? Stepping into this rejoicing and celebratory energy, all right? 3 of Cups, okay? All of these cups in hands, picking up from the grand veil, okay? Between dimensions, okay? Having their cups fulfilled, all right? All right, from the tree of life, essentially, okay? All these spirits and rejoicing, celebrating. This is beautiful, all right? The number 13 may be significant, 31 as well, as today is 31. The number 33 also. So many confirmations. Okay, 33, you may be seeing a master number, okay? 22, another master number. 11, another master number. And 13 and 31 as well. Okay? You went from this seed through whatever treacherous journey or experience, or perceived treacherous journey or experience, and to being in connection and having the ability to rejoice, okay? So if we look, so I'm seeing, so there are 4 fruits, but 3 fruits, 3 cups, the number 3, okay? An example of how we can connect everything, all right? 2 different cards, completely different associations. Put them together, you're able to see the patterns, okay? So really having high pattern recognition. Patience and planning, okay? So spiritually, there has been patience and planning to give you this spotlight energy, to give you this foundation, okay? Again, with these pillars, okay? You walking through and getting to the other side of something. Victory and success in this with the number 6 and number 7. So, okay, 7 as well. So something lucky, right? Because with this stand your ground energy that was here in reverse, we have stand your ground, 7. We have the crown chakra being illuminated, elucidated, you being able to connect to your crown, Okay. Literal crown. Something may be significant about the literal crown. I do believe in England, if we're looking at culture and humanity, there is a dethroning going on in the royal family, quote unquote. You'll be able to reference that depending on where you are in the world. Either way, 777, okay, being significant for 7. Being significant for 7, right? So group 7 may be significant. You may have been seeing or hearing these references throughout social media, and there are many layers and contexts, as well as a part of that psychological experimentation that we discussed earlier in the reading. So the number 777, okay, lucky numbers. You really being able to step into luck through standing your ground, connecting through your crown chakra, and patience and planning. Okay, you're really I'm picking up, you got the winning lottery ticket, baby. You got the winning lottery ticket. You doing everything. Okay, it's nice. This is beautiful. Okay. Such good energy. Wow. Okay. You've laid the firm foundation of transformation. Okay. You've gone through a transformation and now you have the firm foundation. It's on your back. Okay. All right. The lower lumbars. Okay. Something significant about that. But you taking this fire energy, okay, shooting it up through you. Okay. I'm picking up Kundalini energy as well. Wow, you've become the mountain. You have a mountain on your back. And I say this in a positive context because at one point, you may have been in some form of emotional withdrawal, okay? With the number 8 here, separating yourself from abundance or what was being offered to you, okay? Some type of conflict and defeat energy, being stuck in that cycle, okay, with the number 5, unable to change from that. And the mountain on your back seemed insurmountable, okay? However, you've discovered that you are the mountain. You are one with the mountain. That weight has been given to you because you have authority, power, divinity, sovereignty, right? You stepped into your prosperity. You stepped into your victory and success. You've stepped into standing your ground. You've stepped into opening your crown chakra. You've stepped into understanding the processes of patience and planning, all right, and how everything connects, okay? Getting the bigger picture, not missing the forest for the trees, but understanding from a cloud's point of view, okay? I'm walking on sunshine, and don't it feel good? All right, that's something like that, tribe. Yeah, back to the firm foundation. You've transformed your perspective and perception around firm foundations. You are the firm foundation. There you go. Okay. And I'm being guided to reference if you've recently lost a job or are in a place where your energy really isn't thriving, you're being guided to make that change. Make the change. Yes. Join the club. Yes. Okay. That's significant for someone. All right. I'm also picking up many layers within layers. Something about this layers within layers coming through. Okay, spend some time outdoors. Okay, so with this, the literal sense, go outside, get some sun, get some sunlight, get in nature, right? And also spend some time outdoors. Spend some time outside of yourself. Spend some time outside of your general circles. Spend some time outside of what you do every day. Do something different. And I'll give you literal examples for this because you may hear this, do something different. And this is going to be a confirmation again if you've been being nudged to do something different, right? Okay. Flex a new muscle. Try something for the sake of trying it. Make no sense. And see what that does for you. Okay, make a strange noise. All right, do something. Play with reality, nature. Okay, be able to step in sunshine again. All right, with this moving on in reverse, there may be something that you and or others. Okay, so well, the tribe feels like they're stepping on sunshine. So let's say for others, right, external to ourselves, they're unable to move on. All right. Okay. All right. You've mastered. So something about separating yourself from energies that are unable to move on, move forward, go deeper in, okay? Because you are moving on. You are ascending, okay? Not a higher or lower, not a better or less than, but you are stepping into a space where energy flows differently for you, where consciousness meets you where you are, where you are able to see with your eyes closed. Okay, envision and create the literal reality future now that you like. Okay, and this is something that is available for all. Okay, this is something that doesn't have a gender, it doesn't have a species, it doesn't have a name. Okay, it doesn't have it doesn't have a limiting belief, it doesn't have a limiting factor. It's interconnected through all of us. Okay, and what that experience will look like for all of us is a bit different. Okay, and that's where the stuck can happen, the not moving forward can happen, the negative context of the lull can happen instead of enjoying the peace and the process. Okay, but moving forward, I picked up fertility and the solar plexus chakra. Okay, so you being fertile at this time, whatever creations that you are creating, share them. I want to see some. I want to see some new creations. Let's see. But the number 33, so you've mastered your ability to be fertile, all right? Regardless of gender, fertile with your ideas, fertile with positivity, fertile with optimism, fertile with breathing, fertile with being in joy, fertile with being able to create from a solar plexus space, okay? So, and what I'm seeing in this card, I'll give the reference of these layers, right? Layers within layers. So let's say this is an egg of fertility. Inside that is the yolk. Inside that is another part of the yolk, right? Different layers, right? And also connecting to that tree of life again, okay? Being able to see through the solar plexus chakra, okay? Doing this for dramatic effect, but just to give you the visual of how it's showing up in my mind's eye, okay? How the visualization works. Also, something significant about visualization, you being able to visualize your best outcomes, you being able to visualize and stay within, being able to stay within, your visualizations, okay, while being grounded and a part of that firm foundation, which is you, your physical vessel, okay, you being able to stay within these foundations and realms. Oh, Jay, such a good energy in this reading. I listen, listen. So this instance, you're not listening with your ears. You're listening through your eyes, through seeing, through witnessing, through seeing, okay? Fulfillment of wishes. Gratitude, right? Gratitude. Okay. All right, and this was coming from the Psychic Tarot. Yeah, and also some type of spiritual union coming in. Remember I did pick that up earlier, some type of proposal being offered to you? Okay, if you are looking through and with the conventional understanding of relationships, and this doesn't have to be romantic. The spiritual union is you and the divine, the pact that you have made with all of what is, okay, being a part of what is, okay, of what caused God and the devil, of what caused existence itself. All right, I'm picking up on primordial natures. Okay, this is beautiful energy. Yeah, yeah. You may almost feel, okay, so overcoming this need to feel even guilty, if at all, for being happy, okay, which we do have within specific contexts of reality and consciousness and being human. There are layers and situations and places where you may find yourself feeling guilty for being happy. I'm picking up the statement, why the fuck are you smiling? Why the fuck are you smiling, right? Why the fuck are you happy? You should hate yourself. Absolutely not. But this energy of that energy of being forced and being in a space of, you may be picking up on, okay, so there may have been a